Max at EXPI Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is a live market chat here for you guys, just to talk whatever about whatever in general. A lot of people have questions about what the heck is going on. How did you see this coming? What is predictable? What's next? What is going to happen? Yada, yada, yada. We will talk about it all. I'm going to hit this 6-minute, start it, let people funnel in. So if you're watching this after the fact, feel free to click ahead till when it's a 0 to really get into the down and dirty. So hopefully you're having a good day. Again, the market's hard to be patient. People just don't have patience, and guess what? The market knows that, and just got to be around for the big moves. I always tell people, take the time equation out of trading, and it's going to get a lot easier. If you have to be right away, you're only playing options, short dated, you're over trading, you're expecting a big move always today, I'm just going to tell you right now, that's really freaking hard. Really hard. So funnel in. This is going to be completely open mic. A lot of probably deep questions, maybe some superficial ones. What about what to do with this particular name, this particular stock? What are we going to expect next week? All the fun stuff. If you can hear me. Mic check, 1, 2. What is this? The 5-footer coming with the roughneck business. So waiting for mic check and just some people to come in. Da, 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 da. Audio and video good. Good to hear. While we're waiting, anyone seeing Apple making higher highs? Ha! Sorry, let me move the mic. It was probably a little far from my face. Thank you, James. Hopefully you guys are doing amazing. Personally, hopefully everyone's doing great. I am doing well, as you should be if you're following. I mean, this stuff isn't rocket science. I mean, if you watched the daily recap yesterday, I literally said things that don't look bearish. And I found about 30 of them. And are we surprised the market's up today? Do you trade if you go on vacation? Scott, that's a great question. No, I typically put myself in a position not to get hurt. That's all I really do. And if I have options trade, I make sure I have a ton of time. And if I am not, have to be in trading, again, I'll just, you can miss trades. Howdy, Dan. Love your work. Alan W. Is this Alan Wright? It is. What up? Yeah, appreciate everybody. It's an evolution. I don't think people realize, they're like, you must be a billionaire. And it's like, no. The amount of losses might accumulate to $1 billion. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, my tuition was very expensive, but it was all worth it. I have no fear that abundance is always coming now when in trading, because again, like, the mindset of understanding and making all these mistakes is part of the game. What software? I'm using eSignal. It's not cheap. So yeah, that's part of this. Like, if you've been following at all, you know we're doing well. And people say, well, what was the biggest thing you overcame? For me, it was 2021 and shorting and getting absolutely beaten and annihilated. And that was the last thing I needed to like really iron out, is because I was so sure the market was going to go into a bear market at some point, because again, all in liquidity, straight line moves. We always talk about the signals of an end of a move, right? It's just, you couldn't fight the Feds, no matter what. Well, learning that lesson cemented again, like, what is more important, your beliefs or your risk management? It's always your risk management. And so that's one of the things that I'm like, again, as much as I love to give you insight about particular trades or what's going on, but you know what I mean? Like, it ultimately is risk management first. We all have opinions. We all have strong evidences of things when we do things, but we can be wrong. So, hold on one second. Got a text. Links. Need any help? All right. Yeah, that's just the way things are. I mean, again, I think people, they expect trading to be easy, and it's like, we're professional gamblers. Let's not call it what it is. Anything it's not. We're professional probability-based speculators. It's no different than professional poker players. And to be a professional poker player, what happens? You still lose when you have pocket aces. You still have problems in trading. It's just, can you fold? I mean, I think I was telling you guys about the poker game I played in the other night. I mean, I saved thousands of dollars of folding. Like, if I would have stayed in hands that technically I was probably ahead on, and then ultimately the odds went against me, and if I would have just called, I'd have lost thousands of bucks. Instead, I was flat, and I was like, man, this felt like trading. Just happy to float through. Just happy to float on through and survive, because there's always another trade. There's always another market. There's always something. Always something. Always something. I promise you guys. So, on that note, start teeing up your questions. So, I want this to be more about what you guys need to hear, gals, than what I need to say. Because at this point, I still think the market's going to rise up into the CPI because of what? Market makers got volume to unload. They got tons of inventory at the lows. Now they're going to unload it, and they're going to mark it up. That's what they do. It's just hard to know when they start that process, when it ends. Hence, layering in, layering out. Bing. All right. I don't think I'm going to record here. Let's just go on. Dan Max, EXPI Realty, aka Trading Agent. This is a live market chat. Hopefully you're doing well. If you're newer to the channel, please stop by the Discord room. Link is in the description below. This will not be open forever. At some point, this Discord room will be absolutely shut off to the masses, because there's no reason to continue to try to bring in people who want to kind of learn but don't. This channel is built for people who need to take their game to the next level, recognize they have weaknesses, recognize that ultimately trading is a psychological game. The charting, the actual trading is not really that hard. We make it really, really hard. And the difficulty usually lies in our own biases and our emotional states. So, talking about the trading should be simple. Timing, all that other stuff, that's the things we're going to get to today. If you have questions about specific stocks, let's do this. I appreciate y'all, and yeah, fire away. Who's got a question other than what platform am I using? And what do you use for volume at price charts? Again, if you look at TradingView, which, again, I absolutely despise. Whoa, $50 super chat. Thank you, bro. I imagine you made at least 100,000 times that today if you bought Apple calls this morning. Like we recommended. Thanks, dude. That's awesome. Let's get into the Apple trade. Y'all want to know why I absolutely went bongos buying Apple calls this morning? Bongos. Bingo bongo. Sorry, I'm like laughing. Thanks, Brian. That's yeah. I appreciate, again, I don't ask you to pay me. Like, I'm trading this stuff. I appreciate the donations, because the people who actually donate to the channel are the ones that, when things are going and get difficult, I absolutely make sure they're okay. And I make sure they know what the hell is going on. Because I'm the person who, if you invest in me, in this channel, I'm not going to let you fail. I am ultimately not going to let you fail. If there's people in here that know this, they know this. So you invest in the channel, you support us, me, because you realize your tuition is going to be way less than my multi-million-dollar tuition. Then chipping off a couple grand here and there. You're getting off free. Cheap. Apple, you sold a put on the first bottom, and then on the second bottom you bought calls. Yes, we sold puts yesterday at approximately, the 100-day. I even sold some a little higher. If you looked at this action and you thought it was bearish, I get it. But what do we talk about? Points of control, bear traps. We saw it here, right? Let me bring in my hourly chart. Because this Apple trade is just so simple. It's so simple. Never forget, what did I say? When you have a bear trap, it resolves higher, right? That's what a trap does. If it was a bull trap, it resolves lower. It's really simple. I told you guys, like, if I could sell some puts to, like, finance some calls, great. Well, guess what? The opening is this today? Yeah. It pulls back to 155. And I was a little early. I didn't care. I bought next week's 152.50s. I bought more of them. I bought 30 of them without even thinking. Because I'm like, if this is a bull trap, this is the move that blew everybody out. Now it's pulling back. This is the best time to buy. And what did I say? It's probably going to 161, 164. Knowing that's the case, the 152.50s were at 420, 430. Nom, 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 nom. People are like, did you take any off? No. Because I'm expecting a move up. I got next week. We have the CPI data is going to come in weaker. The market has to mark up price. Everybody's bearish. I mean, we talked about this. Things that aren't bearish. Well, people are like, Apple's lagging. Don't care. Now that I have identified a move that is almost certain, I can leverage the crap out of it. Someone's like, how's CrowdStrike doing? It's up 10 points. Cool. Awesome. CrowdStrike ain't Apple. Apple is the market. All right, well, if I know the market's going up and Apple's going to go up, and the options are cheap. We talked about this yesterday. The IV's in the 20s. Nom, 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 nom. I don't care. That same amount of money, you could buy one CrowdStrike option. You probably could buy 5 with Apple. And if Apple moves 5, 10 points, you do the math. You get the ones with the right delta. I mean, the 152.50's current delta is, give me 2 seconds. I was looking at TLT, and we'll talk about that here shortly. No. The delta for the options we bought is 78 cents. Oh! I'll take freaking 0.78 all day. All day. So where's it going to go? Again, probably going to go maybe. And again, we talked about getting tired at like the 157s. You might be able to see it better on the daily. Let me zoom in. The 157 area is the bottom of this candle, the bottom of this candle, top of that candle. You see what I mean? Like, it's, I guess you'd call it partial resistance, slower resistance, right? Let's see if I can pull up the 10 hourly again. You might be able to see it. Yeah, from the last couple days. It's like right in here. I'll draw this box. It's going to be very, remember, this has post-market action as well. So I apologize. But it's probably going to be right in here. Hopefully that's clearer. I'll open it up. This is probably going to be the near-term resistance. Got it? We good? Still expect it up to 160 plus. I mean, honestly, the more bearish the market, the more likely people out of position, the more likely it's going to pop at some point. And the thing that I think people mistaken is that, well, you're missing out. And it's like, no, if I can identify a trade with high certainty, then what? You can absolutely knock it out of the park. And again, I want to trade Apple because it's the market. Someone was talking about ENPD or whatever that stock, solar company. It's down 20 points today. I'd hate to see the market up, the SPY up 6 points today and have a stock down $20. Right? Apple's the market is Apple. But now, question is, should I have bought some stock at the time, eventually in a few weeks of the goal? You got to do what you can afford and what you think is right, Karthik. Because I think at this point, when you buy the Apple stock, yeah, you can do that. But you got to get the lows. Like, I hate people who chase, because like yesterday's action, that kind of crap happens all the time. I try to explain to people, like the intraday action, if you don't know that it can be sloppy, choppy, and just absolutely destroy people, then you're lying to yourself that day trading is the best strategy. I'd rather play the trend. But yeah, you want to play the intraday action? Good luck. You want to play the low probability predictions? Go right ahead. It's finally time to buy precious metals. Miners, JK. Blah! God. No. I know. We're just playing. It's just unreal, man. People want to buy this stuff. I'm like, I just showed you the Apple trap, right? You just saw the Apple trap. Watch. Here, I'm going to review this real quick because it's a good question, actually. Just joking. You see how you got this choppy formation, right? Chop, 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 chop. This is gold on the longer term formation. Chop, 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 chop. There is going to be a blowout of this level at some point. At some point. 158, 1680. Blah. Yeah, exactly. Blah. It's coming. Why? Gold always, they throw the baby out with the bathwater. Once the VIX goes spiky, 50, 60, 70, and the market just actually implodes, gold is not going to be safe. Now, again, it might hold up better, but it's going to wash out and break this level. When it does, we will be there. And when everyone pukes, we'll hold out the bucket because they're going to puke gold right into our hands. If that's kind of weird but gross, but true. That's the reality of it. Everybody's bullish. That's not a bottom. There's no bottoms when everyone's bullish. I'm sorry. That's not how you bottom, y'all. Oh, everybody's bullish. That's the bottom. Just like at tops, everybody's bearish. Get the... No. Oh, thanks for the super chat, homie. Thank you. That's awesome. You guys are making my day. No one ever super chats. Hopefully you're getting paid a lot of money. Most people, I feel like, come here are down in a hole. Because, again, 90% of traders fail. I get that. That's why I'm like, if you're willing to learn, I'm willing to teach. But you need to get out of the hole first. That's the key. Do you think they will try and shake out bulls end of day heading into the weekend? I don't know. I really don't care, James. If they do, I'll add dips. Again, if you have shorter dated options and you're like trading around your position, cool. I get it. I'm personally holding myself because I know what the market makers need. They need a markup price. They have a headline coming that's going to get people to think bullish. Jeez, whoa, you guys are really dropping the super chats today. I appreciate that. Wow. Again, because you don't have to donate. A lot of people don't. But a lot of people do donate thousands of dollars. And when they do, I'm like, yeah, you understand the value of the education. Yeah, if you want it, yeah, that's direct Venmo, definitely save fees. But it's all good, whatever. $20, hopefully that's taking 30% of it, whatever they do with super chat. It shows a lot just to do that. Again, I appreciate it. If my goal is to make money off of people from trading, I'm doing this for the wrong reason. I hope you guys realize that. That's not the purpose. That is not the purpose. I'm not trying to be social media influencer / and whatever you call these idiots that are promoting their systems that are flawless. No, I'm trying to make you realize how not to lose, and then you can figure out how to win. What are you teaching? Very word with money. Oh yeah, no doubt. Appreciate you guys. No, I appreciate you guys. Is NFGC better miner than that's holding? Good question. Sprott still is taking, from what I've read, a big position. Come on, FGC. I said this many times. I can't buy it until gold blows out. I would prefer a lower price. Does it go lower? I don't know. This is the problem with small stocks, because somebody asked me about Harmony today, and I'm like, good God, no. Piece of crap. Whoa. Monster super chats. Y'all are just showing off now. Appreciate it. This stock, smaller companies. Nah, you're the best, P-Bird. I appreciate you guys who are from the Discord room who moderate and hang out here. The thing that you got to realize about smaller companies in a credit crunch is that they're going to get penalized the hardest. That's why I like the junior miners when they bottom. Because as soon as the money starts to flood in to support the market, junior miners will have ultimately, just like any probably gold miner, get beaten. The penny stock ones, I'm very nervous about to be early on. Because again, they are the ones who are most likely have what? No pricing power, tons of leverage, potential problems if the bank says, sorry, we got to call your debt due or something happens. Ain't nobody going to, no Buffett ain't going to be there to bail out Harmony Gold. Maybe Sprott bails out MGC, but that's where you got to be careful. A lot of people think that penny stocks are safe. And that's why I'm like, I'd rather not. And again, remember, the goal is to preserve capital, not to take exorbitant risk. Because if your goal is to have $1 million account, you can't be losing hundreds of thousands of dollars like I used to and think that's okay. No, you have to figure out how to lose the minimum amount, so when you're right, how to press the bet. And what do we say? The GDXJ, when it gets boomed, ready, this is the one. Cool, it made a lower high or higher, or a lower low and bounced back. That's cool. We'll see what happens. Because again, if you don't know the monthly, this is what happens when junior miners hit a credit issue. Let me look at the freaking COVID smash. Really well. The junior miners went from 42 down to 19. Did gold drop that much? No. Gold held up really well, and then it went to the moon. Right? It went up to 2100 or whatever. 2050. Do you see my point? You got to be really careful with the miners. Really, really careful, because they will. And again, I think it's part of the market maker's ploy, right? Because these things move big. And I think that's where, same thing with uranium, same with some of these materials names. People want to be there for that rocket ship, but they don't realize the rocket ship is not something they're driving. The market makers are going to drive the rocket ship. I do not want to be in the crosshairs of the market maker. I want to be on the other side of it. When they're ready to like take tickets to start the ride, I want to be there on time. Because again, they're not going to like wave a flag at the bottom and say everything's great. No, it's going to look probably absolutely disgusting. And if we're wrong, well, guess what? That you can't fight the probabilities. Because again, fighting the probabilities puts you in a position to what? You can't be confident. That's what I was telling people. Like, if you're looking at the markets and you're doing stuff that seems very difficult, well, as soon as it doesn't go in your favor and you don't really have a confirmation of a high probability, what is the first thing you're going to do? Panic. You're going to do the wrong thing probably. You know, I say, know that you know. Again, if I buy Apple at the 100-day, it's pretty simple. If it breaks below it, I'm gone. If I sell puts, I'm gone. I know my stop. Oh, but it's not moving as fast. I don't care. I don't care. I mean, as Livermore would say, would you rather take what is surefire and less risk and do that over and over again versus speculate in things that are high risk with big rewards that could also turn into absolute destruction? Again, think about how big money thinks. Little guy, how I used to think, I always wanted to make a huge amount of money. Always wanted to win big. Well, then what? You lose big too. That mentality, I'm telling you, it's a total game. Apple, again, I mean, imagine if I'm the market maker, I'm probably going to paint the market to look bearish into the close and then gap it up on Monday. I mean, if you have to trade Apple and you have to be quick, then I guess if you want to play the double top on the 15-minute, go right ahead. I know for a fact, it's not in the market maker's best interest to knock Apple down other than to bring in more buyers later. I mean, here's the 10-minute. I don't see anything wrong with this. I see it just trending higher. Slow and steady. Could it pull back at any point? Yes, it could. But remember, the straight line move is the end of the trade. Like the straight line up. I'm talking about it might be 2 or 3 points, and it looks like this, right? It goes like this, and it chops, and that's either the top, or you do straight line chop, and then it fails. Are we in the straight line move phase? No. Great. Awesome. It's buy dips. Buy dips. That's all it is. Chips and dip. Dylan, someone's calling me from Dillon, Colorado. Got it? Yeah, it looks fine to me. Again, this is the game that people want to play. Is what's going to happen on the 10-minute chart all day? Don't care. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that there's some sort of like upper channel bound here. Here's your lower channel bound. However you want to draw it. There you go. It probably breaks out of the upper channel bound when it's time to top. Sound good? Questions, thoughts, concerns? Any other stocks? Do you want to see why I like the TLT? The tittle? Why do you like the tittle? Let's start on the monthly because that's where we always start. Yes, TLT, please. Okay, in 2008, if you remember these times, the Feds had what? A bubble. They had a burst in housing. Right? Got it. Now what? Well, they started raising rates. Market freaked out. It based. And the commodities imploded. Market imploded. TLT went to a moonshot. Well, what do we have now? A Fed that is raising rates. Trying to stop a bubble. You had a choppy zone. I thought honestly we'd hold here. Nope, stopped out. Now you have clearly a base. I don't know why I didn't save. right? Here's your base. Here's your, like, pretend it's the bottom. And if it's going to move, let's go in the back in the past, right? So that went from 89 up to 125. That's 34 points. If you can buy the TLT at 108, 107, 109, 110, and it has 30 points of upside, damn, another freaking monster super chat. Y'all are the teats, the TL teats. Thank you, I appreciate it. Man, that's awesome. I'm not gonna cry, but I do get emotional when people appreciate this kind of stuff because it's not easy. Yeah, you guys are ganging up. No, but you see the point here. Like, this is a low risk, high reward. If the TLT pops 30%, 30 points essentially, and you can buy it at 107, 108, 109, whatever, with a stop, are you willing to risk the dollar to make what happens? Because if the bear market continues or the Fed's pivot or something, this is going to do probably what? It's going to pop big. All right, well, are we early? Typically we are. Now, this is a trade that I will be early in because guess what? When money needs to find a safety, it's going to go to the bond market. It's not going to go to gold. Stop it. And again, maybe this is the time is different. Everyone's like, oh, the bond market's going to break. Well, if it is, betting on the bond market breaking has never been successful. Just keep that in mind. So, do you want to play the one-off? Yeah, it looks like they're accumulating. Just like they were distributing up here, it takes months. Here you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. We'll see. But do you see the point of it being like on the monthly? Like it's just a low risk trade. Where do I want to put my capital? Safety in the numbers. Here you go. Here it is on the Dizzle, the daily. I don't know. Near term, I don't know. Long term, it should be expected to go higher. But again, this is where you have stops. If you buy December, November puts, yeah, give yourself a point or two. If you're buying the stock, give it a point or two. Just be thoughtful. Pretend this is, any other chart. Just give yourself time. The TLT does not move fast. I mean, this whole move took 6 months. Now, again, if the market goes nuts, TLT will move fast. We know that. It'll move up. It'll probably need at least into November to get that screamer. But if you're buying down here, I mean, do you see how risk versus reward? Oh, well, this isn't going to be as exciting as the market dropping. Well, guess what? It's not time to short the market. So guess what? I'm not going to short the market. I'm not going all in bonds. Don't get that twisted. Trust me, we are going to absolutely short the what out of the market. Well, when do we do that? Great question. I'll ask it for myself because if you don't know it, I should know it. What do we say? SPY 405 near term, and here it goes. Gaps right up over support because everybody's bearish. Go look at StockTwits. Go look at FinTwit. Everybody's bearish going, the market's rigged again. Boom, we win because we're doing what the market's doing. Upside target. Here we go. 20-day, 410 plus. Yes, what do we talk about? Trends usually flip during OPEX in the first and last 3 days of the month. Guess what next week is? Quad witching OPEX. Wow, there's repeating tendency, Dan. You talk about this all the time. Yeah, because I've lived it and tried to fight it 100 times, and it just doesn't work. Think about all the puts out there. Look at the put-call ratios. 1.5, 2 at one point. So many puts out there on the markets. Guess what they're going to do? Giving retail all the puts they want, and when they puked up all their calls, they got their calls. Everyone's like, oh, you're looking at the pin action. I'm like, the pin action is what? Pain. Retail owns puts. They puked up all their calls. Market makers like, get this son of a biscuit higher. That's how it works. Now, again, if it doesn't go up into the close, I'm going to be like, oh, you're an idiot. Yeah, okay, whatever. You're an idiot for buying down here. Okay. You're an idiot for shorting up here. Okay. You're an idiot for stopping out here. Yeah, I get it. That's what I get told. Oh, you're an idiot for this saying this was the bottom. Yeah, and then I said, watch the retest. Oh, you're an idiot. Yeah, I get it. I absolutely get it. You're an idiot. What's this 3-gap trap? Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's so funny because people get emotional. And when somebody's actually laying out what's going on, they go, oh my God. Yes. Thank you, Catherine. You get it. Selling puts to buy calls. That's what we're doing. I'm telling you, the market makers are taking bets. Again, someone was saying, talking about JP Morgan and Goldman, Kern, if you're around. Oh, they're positioned to call her out of this. And then I'm like, they're still a player in the game. The market maker wants their money too. Don't care. Don't care. You guys know that trading's not that hard if you take out all the noise. And again, this is why I talk about, like, why does Buffett live in the BF middle of Nebraska? Sipping on Coke and eating Kellogg's and doing nothing. Because again, he's not distracted by all the noise and the rumors and all the stupid crap. He probably has very simple systems that he follows that work. And he's not sitting on StockTwits going, oh, what does that guy think? And what does that girl think? And what is that paid pumper saying? And what's that bot saying? And who's this social media influencer? Because they're great to watch. Oh, she's beautiful. No. Don't care about that stuff, man. You got to be evidence-based. And if the evidence isn't there, you don't trade it. You do not look for confirmation from me. If I'm giving you a trade, it should be in the charts. And again, don't take my advice. I'm not here to teach you how to follow me. I don't want that. I'm teaching you how to trade so that what? You can tell me what to do. I'm telling you guys, that's what the goal of the Discord room. It's not a cult of a bunch of idiots following one idiot. It's literally, I teach you guys how to do this. I go on vacation and someone goes, hey, did you see that chart? Nope. Send me a picture. Great. Looks perfect. Thank you. Now I'll make 10 grand on vacation or something. And then I'll slip you a tip of 10%. Yes, don't trust sexy FinTwit influencers. That's why I trust Lupus so much. Yeah, he is an ugly son of a... No, I'm just kidding. Nah, I don't think you guys realize Lupus's story. It's very similar to mine, hence why I'm very appreciative of him and also his generosity, but also, like, make sure that guy every day is winning. Because I've been there. And so when somebody was, like, lit the fire to get me to see the market for what it was, I'm always appreciative of those people. Because, again, it's not that the trading's so hard. We make it awesome. We make it really hard. No, Lupus loves to trash everybody who comes on the Discord room and tell us how to do things. Because the honesty is that I don't need your help. If you're on the Discord room, I don't need your help. I literally don't. Nobody needs your help. Unless you're actually doing great, create your own Discord room and maybe we'll follow you. Don't come into the room trying to tell us how to do crap and all your little intricacies with gamma and options and dark pools. I know all this stuff. I don't talk about it because I don't think it matters. It doesn't. Look at the SPY, just cranking higher, ding, 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 ding. Novice gap, someone said. Yep, but what happens to novice gaps? Sometimes they take a couple days to resolve. Professional gap, novice gap, but it took days. Oh, but you know, no. Don't be so. You got the fish on the line. Reel the sucker in before you throw it back if you're going to play catch and release. Where do you short? Obviously, you got to wait. You got to wait. We talked about VIX termination during OPEX. Let me show you the VIX. Oh, you're all in bearish up here? You idiot. It's going to fill this gap probably. Thought it would get back to here. Well, now it's going lower. Well, I'm not going to assume the VIX going higher into VIX termination time. Now, could there be some volatility? Yeah, naturally. Good luck guessing the 6.5 hours of the day. But going into the CPI, if you're not familiar with how OPEX works, somebody please drop the link in the description below or into the chat. OPEX typically is what? Up part of the week, down part of the week. It's meant to what? Kill as many options as possible. Keep it simple. It's really, that's what they're going to do. So if the market is up into the beginning of the week, it'll probably chop to down later in the week. Remember, you have also the FOMC the following week. Do you think the market's actually going to go anywhere big before they speak? Nope. 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 That's why if this VIX gap closes, I doubt we get over 23. We just chop around. Thanks for all you do. Can you look at NVIDIA gap fill next week? Sorry if you cover this. Nope. Luis, that's a good question. NVIDIA, because, I mean, same thing with SMH. I've said I think it's going to 220 plus. We're at 217s. Oops. I mean, it seems very logical. The gap fill is a minimum, but it's also going to be the first mental resistance. So that's where you have to be cognizant. Where's the market? Where is NVIDIA when it gets there? Because if the market is still below your upside targets, then it probably just chops to go a little higher. That's all I would say to that. Because here's a great question. Tesla. I honestly thought it might get up to 290 and fail. But it's like the market is going higher. Someone asked yesterday, should I short Tesla? I'm like, no. Do not get bold here. Do not get bold on Tesla. Because if the market's going higher, why would you short Tesla? Dangerous. Now, again, not saying it couldn't chop out and go sideways while the market rips higher, but it's like, if the market's going higher, don't be getting on the short bus. I'm telling you. Don't do it. You can't do it. Technically, you shouldn't. Right? Do you have the same sentiment for Apple compared to Amazon? Again, that's why it's just like tech. QQQ, Amazon should rise. I mean, you could have said the same thing. Here you go. Here's your Amazon base. Here's like the first major resistance. 136. I don't know. Could it get... The more you're up, the less you own. That's all I would say. I just think Apple has more catalyst near term because I guarantee CNBC is going to be doing this whole like series on how many people are waiting in line for the new iPhone. What are their orders like? I don't think Amazon really has those catalysts near term. You can see why somewhere in the 135. I mean, 200 day, maybe. This is why you trade the leaders. You folks that love to trade all these crappy names that aren't the market, good luck. I don't know where they're going to go. When it's not the market, I don't know. What's a good name? What did someone say? Was that ENDP? And what was it? ENPD? What's that solar name? Ian something. Ian, not Ian. ENPH, right? Yeah. Said, nah. Like, a little nervous. You're up against the channel high. I don't know if I'd buy it. Looked like a breakout, and then it came right back. It's not the market. I don't know. It's down 20 points today, and the market's up. I don't know. Go, Apple. You fruit basket. FSLR. I'm very familiar with that one. That one's been around. I mean, you want to own this? I mean, you think this is going higher? You're hopeful. You're very hopeful. But when was, this top, when did it top out? First of the month. When did it top? First of the month. OPEX. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, absolutely, Karthik. These companies that trade, anything that trades like 50 million lesser shares, their options are going to be insanely illiquid. Insanely illiquid. Be careful. That's all I got to say. Solar names, if you're not taking profits up here, market's going to take them for you. Just be careful. That's all I got to say on that. Not saying it's peaked. I don't know. I mean, sounds like somebody's distributing down here. Or distributing up here. But momentum is hard to pick tops and bottoms? Yeah, but one of the things that's hard to pick when it comes to tops without reference. But here's the thing, when you go zoom out to the monthly on First Solar, there is references. That's why I'm like, I know this stock. We know this stock. We is familiar with this stock. You got lows here, highs and wicks here. You got highs there. You got some wicks and points of control. Again, the upside is probably limited. But somebody's going to, if it gets bought out, I look like an idiot. And if it fails, it makes sense because it's literally gone nosebleed straight line move. I love being in these stocks. If I can find them, I'll definitely trade them. I mean, if you give me an opportunity to spot one of these before they happen, I'll gladly review them. But it's hard, right? To like look at this chart and go, it's gone from 60 to 140. You want to buy that? You want to buy that? I don't. Now, it's not saying I'm like, oh, let's go all in short. I mean, there probably is a short coming. OPEX. But I'm not buying it. I mean, there's really nothing much to trade. People are like, oh, you got a short. I'm like, nah, I don't. Not now. If it drops without me, great. Don't care. I just don't care. All right. Any other questions? I mean, this is good stuff. Yeah, short it maybe in time. I mean, if you really wanted to like be aggressive, buy some longer dated puts when the VIX gets down into the 20 area that we're talking about. That might be the trade. Somebody will do it, and I'll get a call, a text, and be like, thank you. And I might not do it, but guess what? That's the logic here. One gap, two gap. I guess you got three gaps. Got a lot of gaps in this thing. I mean, there is a short here. You don't think the whole like solar thing got priced in already? Near term. Target. All right, someone else asked me about Target. I think I know who this is now. Talked about it, looked bullish. Someone asked about it a couple days. I'm like, yeah, it's making higher lows. When in doubt, zoom out. The monthly has some major issues up here in the 180s. Let me see if I can pick it up on this chart. Yeah, there you go. I apologize. It's a little messy. Let me clean it up. Let me remove this old fibber. Now you've got the whole mountain range. You can see why like this area matters. If the market rise, why is drawing so hard? I would anticipate you being able to get to 180. Resistance there, support there, chop through it, support here, resistance there. To me, that's the obvious point of control. But again, it depends on where the market's at. You just got, Target is part of the market. It's a bigger name. It seems obvious 180. Minimum if the market's rising. Again, all of this is based on what? The logic of a rising tide lifts all boats. Because if you break over the 100-day, which has been resistance, it's going to bring in a flood of buyers. And that's exactly what you want if you're the market maker. Because you probably got, if the market maker got stuck with a bunch of volume down here, they're going to want to unload it higher. Any other questions? Oh my God, the SPY is at high of the day. Oh, it's going to be pinned to 405. If the market maker has a ton of inventory, they sold puts, and now they're holding all the calls. Oh, but the pin action, this is the most options at this price. I don't give a crap about the 405 pin, just like the 400 pin yesterday. Doesn't matter. You got to know what the market maker's got, not what the volume is out there at a strike. That is irrelevant news. Well, there's a lot of options at 405. Who owns them? Oh, you don't know. Exactly. Well, think about if you're the market maker. You got everybody to puke puts. Check. You got them, buy puts and sell their calls. Sentiment in the turd, in the toilet. Oh, the market maker always wins. Oh man, the option pin action stuff drives me nuts because when it started trading in the late 90s, early 2000s, like minusculely, loved options, realized, wow, you could actually pin action because the only people buying them and trading were retail. Now it's not. Now the market maker has a vested interest in manipulating the options market, and they can make tons of money. Oh, but you see the strike price. It's 405. Okay. Again, Rothacon, if you're listening, love you, man, but dude, you kill me with all of the overthinking because you've been around now for a couple weeks, months. Everyone else who usually sees this and goes, all right, man, this stuff is a bunch of damn noise. Again, maybe you're on different Discord rooms than everybody in general. Maybe you are. I'm telling you, simplicity. Use other Discord rooms as retail sentiment. Just because they talk about options or dark pools or this and that, don't care. I'm telling you, just another noise. Yeah, there's a horn. Oh, look at that, Apple high of the day. But Dan, why didn't you sell any on that pop? Because it's going higher. I don't need to. Any more questions, thoughts, concerns? I mean, if you're the market maker, squeeze this son of a biscuit. What's the best advertisement for higher prices and to get retail to chase? Higher prices. That's what they respond to. At the lows, they want to short. At the high, they want to buy. What planet do you have to be from to observe this as a phenomenon? Like, it's just like gravity. It's physics. It's the law of the land. Hope this helps. Telling you guys, less is more. Yeah, recency bias just in general. Like, what's going to happen? Market's up. Oh, hey, I saw it was up 2%. It's time to buy. I mean, I'm at the gym, and people ask me, and they know I trade, and they're like, man, I see what you're doing. Like, what do you think now? What do you think now? This, and they're like, oh, they can't buy it on a red day. Hey, Dan, I saw the market was up. I bought the market. Never will they go, market was down. I absolutely bought a ton of it. No, never works like that. Keep in mind, most people who don't know what's going on. And the market expects that. That's why we fly under the radar. It's okay to have a few smart people. They don't care. The masses lose. Masses always lose. Good God, account balance. Yeek. Good things. Good things. Any other questions? Yeah, oil rebounded nicely. That's a good question because I was looking at that earlier and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't short it. We talked about that. Held that little trend line back up to the 200-day channel, like recent high. Yeah. Maybe it tops during OPEX. How high? I don't know. But people down here was like, watch then the low under range. Watch the low under range. Yeah, SPY easily. That. I mean, we could close at 410 today and it wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me. And then we could go a little higher. Keep in mind, like, we talked about this novice gap and we got stopped out. Everyone's like, oh, it's a novice gap. It should flip quick. I'm like, no, I'm going to take my losses and come back. And it ended up being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Into OPEX. Then TOPEX. When would you go long TLT? Right now. Essentially. In this area. Island reversal on oil. Oof. Island. We're going island hopping. Let me look. What island? Are you in the Caribbean? You're in the Maldives. What island? You talking about this island, little island here? Remember, keep in mind, oil future is different than the market. I mean, again, if you don't know the course of oil, then you don't know your history, because this is what oil did during the last major bear market. We had similar issues. Saudi Arabia said they were running out of oil. Fracking wasn't around. There was a end of world scenario with oil, peak oil production. Then a recession happened. Keep in mind, I mean, GDP was down, 6% max, and oil got absolutely blasted. It's a very highly leveraged commodity, clearly. I mean, again, if you're going long oil, it's like getting long gold. You're early. You're way early. Oh, but it's popping. It's got to go higher. No. Just wait. And if we're wrong, guess what? And it turns out to be a monster bull market, I'll get in later. I'm just going to assume what always happens until it doesn't. Because doing the opposite has gotten me absolutely destroyed. You can't argue with me on that. Like, that's like telling me, like, I've touched the fire 8,000 times and it burns. And then you're going to be like, it doesn't burn. Fires don't burn. Water's not wet. I mean, I don't know, whatever. Good questions, though. Again, on the TLT, I mean, I'm not a financial advisor. You have to do what you got to do. If you try to sue me, it seems like a waste of your time. But you're down at the range of lows. We talked about it earlier. Chop tops, chop bottoms. When it goes, it can go. And when I mean go, it'll go 30 points. Maybe 40 points. Got any other questions? I'll shut her down. You see what I'm thinking? It's probably going to come back up into the 137 area, minimum. There's a ton of volume at price up here. Maybe you could get to 151. Because when the market's done and oil crashes and the world gets scared, they buy U.S. Treasuries. I'm sorry. If you want to argue that, that's what they've done every time. If they don't this time, then that was the one-off. Got it? Good. Island reversal on oil. Again, short term, probably. Again, I'd rather short that island. Telling you, oil is going to get absolutely destroyed. I've said 65, 70 a barrel. I mean, we're in the 80s now. Up here, nobody believed us. Keep in mind, USO is different. The futures retested literally almost to a T. Oh, but Dan, CNBC always paints the picture of the wrong move about to come. They don't get bullish oil at the lows. If anything, they said, what? Oil is done. Oil is never going to be needed again. This is the death of oil. Oil is done. Oil is over. Everybody hates oil. What does it do? Turns into a bull market. Everybody loves oil. Oil is this. Oil is that. You're buying that narrative. Bear market smashes oil. Reoccurring patterns. Bag holders delight. What is in your bag? What have you bag held before? Trust me, you don't want to be holding oil during a market smash. Oh, but what if oil causes the pop? Well, look what happened. Came right back. Came right back. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. I'm telling you, whoever's convincing you that oil is somehow immune to a recession is a liar. Any other questions? Look at the IWM, high of the day. Things that aren't bearish. Things that aren't bearish. Look at that. Even, look at good old MicroStrategy. I know some people who bought it in the support zone, and I'm so happy for them because they are printing money. But watch where we're at now. 20-day. I would say the 20-day probably. Why the 20-day? Well, when it broke it, it bounced right back to it. When it broke over it, it supported. Lupus, you listening? 20-day. 20-day is your first major red flag. Ah, man. Making money in all markets is what it is about. And again, if you didn't get long, then just tee it up. Again, we got to tee up the next short. Not hard. It's going to be up here. It's going to be in this control zone. This is where all the inventory is. Any more questions? Looks like people are dropping out of the stream. Duration is dropping. People are giving up. Maybe they're going to trade. Maybe they're going to sell their positions on a Friday. I don't know. Profits, if needed to be taken. Whatever. Don't always be all in. Cash is great to have on dips or if it's a pop in a bear market. Going to celebrate, I mean, always remember this. If my good friends here who've been around, I always say, the hardest thing is usually the right thing to do. It's really hard to sell up here. It's hard to buy down here. It's hard to buy down here. It's hard to sell here. You get rewarded for the hard thing because the market maker is going to try to make you feel like the easy thing is right. Are you starting to realize that? Have you started to understand that? The market maker makes you think the easy thing is the right thing to do. And honestly, you probably don't even need charts if that was your whole mechanism of just watching the market in action. You took out all this crap and you're like, what is hard to do? It's probably hard to take some profit. Then it's hard to buy the dip. Hard to expect chop. Hard to novice gap up and think it's not going to go higher. And then fail. Love it. Absolutely love trading. Because it gives you the freedom. You pick the entry and exit. This isn't like watching the game last night and you bet on the Rams and all of a sudden they're going to get blown out and you got to take a total loss. No, this would be like watching the game and seeing the Rams down 10-0 going, nah, I don't like the way this looks. I'm out. I'll surrender and take 90% of my money back. Thanks, bookie. Cool hanging out. That's why trading is awesome. Awesome. And if you don't understand that, you don't have to ride the whole loss. You don't have to ride the whole game. If you're wrong and you don't like the way it looks, bail. Or the team's up 31-10 and you're like, I'm good. I'll take my money. Gone. Any questions? Like pulling teeth here. I don't know if people just like to listen or they actually have questions, but I mean, this morning, again, I love to use the Discord room as a tool, and everyone's like, 405's the pin. I'm like, all right. 405's the pin. I get it. I see it. Well, maybe it is today, but look what it's done. Went higher. Thinking of adding TMF. Yeah, that's one of those leveraged bond funds, and why not? Right? Why not? Get a nice bottle of whiskey for the weekend. Yeah, go ahead. I don't drink much. I used to drink. My liver's shot. I mean, it really hurts for me to have more than a few drinks. Yeah. I mean, it last pop, it went from 10 up to 14. If the market bond market goes bonkers, you're probably going to see the stock go from 10 to 30. It has it in it, right? Yeah, here you go. Ooh, yeah, COVID. 25 up to 58. Yeah, you could probably catch a double, triple here maybe. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's easy. Buy it at 10. Set a stop at 9. Whatever. You're willing to lose. Whatever you're willing to lose. That's how you got to think about it. Try to get as low as possible, obviously. No questions at the moment, but I appreciate just listening to how you think. No, it's cool. I mean, I think you guys realize, my thinking comes from my experience and my losses and every mistake out there. I can look at a chart and I just feel the pain from a past mess up. Yeah, we've talked about Apple's setups many times. Do you think we're hitting this 412 mark on SPY Monday? I don't know. Don't know. Don't know. Again, people always ask, the silliest questions meant when? I don't really care about when. I just need to know where. It's going to get there. But ideally, probably going to be soon because there is a squeeze on. Right? We talked about it here in the past. Talked about the squeeze and to chop. Talked about the squeeze to flop. Talked about the squeeze. Man, that was a big one. That's all it is. All right. Any other questions? Thoughts? Concerns? Let me know. Let me know. Because I'm about to wrap it up. There's no really reason to do a recap after the close. I'm going to go enjoy the afternoon, just as you should. We'll meet up Sunday or something. Because there's really nothing to say. I mean, I think we know the action is what it is at this point, right? The market's going to do what? Creep higher. Bonds are going to base in this area. Maybe they make a lower low. I don't know. You guys have a good weekend, too. And also, too, if you're in the Discord room, please don't talk. Listen. There's way too much chatter about crap that doesn't matter. It burns me out having to answer the same questions 10 times. And it, honestly, let me end it with this. Pretend you're me. You're giving out all this great free information. And somebody comes to you and just goes, what about this? What about that? And takes zero time to search through the videos, the content, and just wants an answer. I hate you. Because I hate that you think that this is easy. And that I can, and again, I hate your mindset. Because you don't appreciate the struggle. You want the easy answers. Well, guess what? I was in the hole, and the easy answers never came to me. They always came through what? Struggle, perseverance, and meaningfulness of the actual process. None of this makes any sense when I just give you the answers. You have to live it. You have to experience it. Don't ask people to repeat things 1,000 times. take notes, study, back test, just hang out. I'm telling you, you will get this through osmosis if you do the work. Just asking constant questions drives me nuts because it's like I hate to repeat myself 14 times. Or why is this? Why is that? It's in the videos. We talk about it. Someone's talked about it. Like, scroll through the Discord room. There's a search feature. You can search. Scroll through the conversations. I'm telling you. Whatever question you have, somebody else has had and asked. Let others ask it, or, you know what? Show me that you've actually searched by looking at something. That, again, I will gladly take your hand and walk you through a question. If you're like, all right, Dan, I looked at this, why? I don't understand. That makes sense. See, now it's going to make sense to you because it's going to mean more. Not, hey, what is that? Well, what is the options market? I don't know. I mean, that's such a bold question. Like, what does the pin action mean to you? No, what does it mean to you first, actually? Because then you'll have a reference from how to explain it. All right. Have a good weekend. Appreciate all the super chats. And when in doubt, I'm telling you, look at yourself as the problem with trading. Like, don't blame the market. Never blame the market. That's like getting mad at the money tree. It's a money tree if you use it right. You have to look at yourself and go, what did I do wrong? What did I anticipate wrong? Where was I mentally thinking this happened, but why did that happen? Where did I get in early? Dan's always talking about he's getting in early. He's usually layering in. Well, why? Because he can get tricked. We can all get tricked. The levels sometimes aren't perfect, right? You go a little higher, you go a little lower, you chop out. You don't know, but you know the points of control. You know where the volume at price is. You know where things should happen. But in a probability game, does everything happen all the time? Is the market rational? Nope. No, it's not. So think like that. Like if you're watching the TLT and you're like, why is it not rising? Why is it not rising? I don't know. Maybe it's because what? Oil's up. Market's getting a little excited about stocks. We'll see. Maybe they're the Fed's raising 75 basis points. No crap. Everybody knows. It's not a secret. Anyway, my first one. Yeah. Have a great weekend, Susan. If you're new, again, there's a billion things to watch. Watch first the options expiration week with that, how it moves. Dig in deep. You want, like, again, the knowledge needed to be good at trading is not intense. It just needs to be known, right? Learning how to drive your car isn't difficult once you start driving it. But you got to know what you can and can't do and how you're going to crash it. That's literally what trading is. You got to understand options expiration. You got to understand the first last 3 days of the month. You got to understand bull and bear traps. You got to understand the points of control. You got to understand how to draw trend lines. You got to understand the seasonality. You got to have a knowledge of VPA. You got to know how the operators work. Maybe that sounds like a lot of things to you, but it doesn't to me. Because once you understand them, it's like breathing. It's that simple. This is what that is? Oh, cool. What's option expiration? Usually choppy. Usually up and down. Either start the week and then down, or starts down then up. How's the first and last 3 days? Usually tops and bottoms happen. New money, first of the month, comes in. Window dressing. Oh, wow. Points of control. Go look at the volume at price and look at where a stock holds 7, 8 times. 5 times, 3 times, whatever the time frame is. Draw the Fibonacci's. Connect the bottom to the top. Like, this stuff is not hard. I promise you. Because you don't want it to be. You can't make decisions. You cannot make decisions when you have too much data. You got to keep it simple. All right. I'm out. Be safe. Think about, again, review the weeks. If you don't have a trading journal and you're not reviewing your thoughts and how actually the market played out, this takes forever to figure out. Forever. Leave it on that note. Later, guys.